Hello students and families, I'm so happy to see you today and I hope that you've had a great week. I've had a really busy week working with the third grade team to make sure that Microsoft Teams is up and running for your classes next week. So I want to take some time today to go through what you can expect in Microsoft Teams, a little bit about how it will work and some of the rules on using it. And hopefully that will answer some of your questions that you might have about what to expect for next week. So most of you, in fact just about all of you, have found that you can go into Clever and you have found the Microsoft Teams icon. If you click on the little heart here, you know that it will move that icon up to the top of your screen, which might make it a little bit easier for you to find it every single day. So that's something that you can always do. Now when Teams comes up, it's going to first show you all of the classes that you are enrolled in. You're enrolled in My Homeroom class. You also will have classes for art, for music. If you're a Quest student, you will also have classes for Quest. So I'm going to start by going into Arcadis Homeroom class by clicking on it. And I can get back to where I just was by clicking on this All Teams up here in the corner. And that will take you back to all of the classes that you are enrolled in. And the first screen that you come up with is Posts. That's where you found my first welcome message and you messaged me. And this is a place for us to communicate with one another. Now, with that said, I want to talk a little bit about how we will work together on Microsoft Teams. You know, when you log into this application, it's as if you were walking into our classroom. And the same expectations that we have at Bay Vista at school apply here. Even though you're sitting in your own house, even though you're at a computer interacting with the program, those same expectations apply. So I expect, just like in our classroom, that you are respectful of your teachers and your classmates. Please remember that I can see the things that you do online. So make sure that they are appropriate and that they are things that you would want the adults in your house to see as well. So just keep that in mind and make sure that you're following those same kind of expectations. So at the top of this screen, we have, here we're in what they call a channel. We're in General. We've just gone over Posts. Under Files, I might upload files that I think that you will find useful. Right now there's only one there. We're going to start a new read aloud in class. We just finished Charlotte's Web. And we're going to start reading aloud a new book called The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. And this link actually links you to a PDF online file of the book. So you could actually read the book online here. We're going to be reading it together in a read aloud as well, but it's available here for you to reference. So as I scroll down, you can see that it's just like looking at the book online. Okay, so that's an example of something that we might find under Files. Class Notebook, we are still working the kinks out of that and trying to figure out how we might use that. So if we need that next week, I will let you know. But for right now, I'm going to skip over Class Notebook and go to Assignments. To me, this is probably one of the most important screens that we are going to find on Microsoft Teams. And it's going to list all of your assignments for the day. Now, if you saw, I just clicked on it and it came up with a little sad face robot, and I just clicked on something else and came back to it. I'm not sure how this is going to work next week. When we have every student online, when we have the teachers online trying to monitor your work and trying to help students, it may be a little funny sometimes. So don't be afraid to close it out and start again, or to close something and retry it if you get error messages. I'm just not sure what to expect. So here in Assignments, we have 4 items that I have put here as examples. These are things that you might see next week. Our Husky with a background I'm not going to address. That came from our art teacher, Mrs. Wiggins, and she's going to be explaining how we're going to complete that. So I'm going to leave that one alone for now. One of the most important assignments that you will have each day is a check-in. Now, let's talk about attendance a little bit. The check-in here is a little quiz. It's just a really simple little question for you to answer that verifies to me that you have logged on to Teams for that day and that you have attended class. Pinellas County is requiring teachers to take attendance every day, Monday through Friday. So it is important that you log in on each day and answer that check-in question. That's one way that I verify that you attended school that day. Now, do you have to log in at 8:30 in the morning? No, you do not. I understand that at home you might have siblings who need, brothers and sisters who need to use the computer also. You might have adults who are trying to work from home, and they may not always be able to help you and answer questions all day long. So for that reason, it does not matter when you log into Teams. I will take attendance at the end of the day, and I can even update it the next day. So as long as you log in sometime on Monday, I can mark you present for Monday. Okay, so it's just really important that you go on each day for that reason. Now the assignments, because this is new, we set up each assignment to come up on the day that it is assigned. So the assignments that we see here are all assigned, as an example, for Monday. And on Tuesday there will be new assignments. However, you can work on the assignments all week. So if something happens on Monday, and let's say you can't check in, you can't get into Teams, your internet's not working, you're coming up with error messages and you don't know what to do. In that situation, please email me and I will still mark you present. I think that that's going to help how it's going to work because you have still made the effort to be at school. And the assignments that are there don't have to be turned in until Friday at midnight. I would like for you to be doing them every day, but we extended the due dates because we know that there could be problems, and I don't want you to be stressed out because on Monday you can't get logged in and you can't get your assignments done, etc. So the assignments will come up on the day that they are assigned, but they will be available through Friday. Okay, but it's still important that you try to get in every day. If there's a problem, please email me. Okay, please contact me so that I know that you are trying and have a problem and I can try and help you get it fixed somehow. Okay, so if I click on the check-in, it's going to come up and it's going to tell me what to do. This is worth no points because it's not a grade, and it simply says, answer this question to verify that you attended school today. And there is a link to check in for attendance. I'm going to click on that link, and it's going to come up with some kind of a form and ask you to respond to some kind of a question. So for Monday's question, I put, what is your new classroom like? Who's there? You got any pets? Tell me about it. So just tell me about where you're working and what's it like. And you're going to answer that question and click on submit. And that comes back to me so that I know that you have completed this form. Okay, so that's the check-in. And then I'm going to click here and I'm going to go back to my assignments. So that's the check-in. Another example of an assignment is Dreambox. Just like we would in class, you're going to have Dreambox assignments. Again, this is not worth points. This is not a grade, but it is a task that you need to be completing. So the instructions here say go to Dreambox, complete 5 lessons. So that just means go to Dreambox through Clever like you would in class and complete 5 lessons. Can you complete more? Of course you can complete more. But our goal for this day is to do 5 lessons. Again, I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to go to Edward Tulane, chapters 1 through 2. And before I go on there, you know that I can check in Dreambox how many lessons you have completed. Okay, so you don't have to tell me. You're welcome to do that if you want. But I know that you've done Dreambox because I can go to Dreambox and double check. So let's go to this last assignment here, Edward Tulane, chapters 1 to 2. This one's a little bit more involved because it's a little bit more like we were actually doing a reading lesson in class. So here, this is worth points. So in class, I have to give you things to grade, and we're going to find that same thing to be true here. So your task here is to either read the PDF version of chapters 1 and 2 of Edward Tulane or listen to the read aloud. So down here in reference materials, this first link is a YouTube link to a read aloud of Edward Tulane. So you don't have to read it yourself. You can listen. In this case, Mrs. Lindsay was very kind and recorded the first 2 chapters to listen to here. So I can go to The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. I can find chapter 1 and 2, and I can play it and listen to that recording. Okay? So that gives you an idea.
Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane, chapter 1. Once in a house on Egypt Street.
Okay, so I'm going to pause that, and in my upper right-hand corner up here on the tab, I'm going to X out of YouTube. It brought up a new tab there. I could also read Edward Tulane in the PDF version that I showed you previously. Works exactly the same way. Okay, that you saw. There's a close button. I'm going to close that out. And then the assignment itself tells us that we are going to please read and then respond to the question attached. So there is also here a response to reading chapter 1 through 2 link. So I'm going to click on that, and it should open a form. Yes, it did. So it's got a form that says, describe the relationship between Abilene and Edward. Use evidence from the text to support your answer. Be sure to answer in complete sentences. It's worth 10 points. Just like in class, you're going to write me a complete quality response that answers that question using evidence from the text. You could, of course, pull up the PDF file of the book to look at and get that evidence from if you don't remember and you need to do that. So just as if we were in class, you can always go back to the book and look for your evidence there. No problem. So you're going to answer that question by clicking in the box and typing and submit it when you are done. Okay? So if you did those 3 things for Monday, you would be complete in this example. Now when you log in on Monday, it's not going to look exactly like this. I put these up as examples. We are still trying to figure out the best way to respond to math because math is a little more complicated, trying to write numbers and equations and so forth. So we're still working on the best way to create assignments for math. But that will be coming, and I will try to give you as much help as I can when we decide on how that's going to work. So I hope that has answered some of your questions today. I will be in touch, and I will be feeding you more information as I know it. As always, please let me know if you have any questions. Please email me. You can post it here on Microsoft Teams. But your first job next week, come Monday, is sometime on Monday to log in, go to assignments, and start working through the list. The first assignment you should do is your check-in. Okay? So I hope that helps you guys. I hope you have a great weekend and that you get to have some fun and enjoy yourselves. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you on Monday.